In Curse of the Dead Gods, you enter a accursed temple from old ancient gods of death, where you are stuck in a temple and your only way out is to face the temples of the gods, where you will be tested to overcome the curses what lays within these temples. The game setup is a fiction fantasy inspired from the Mesoamerican mythology. For the outlook of the game, here you are stuck in the temple of the 4 dead gods, where you will need to explore their temples to find a path out, and there isn't any other way to go, so might as well go forward facing deadly temples. So in case of spoilers, I won't be spoiling the second and final boss of the first temple, what is available right now in early access, but I will spoil the first boss as well as all the other gameplay features of the game current version, so if you don't want to see that, then click away, or if you don't care, keep on watching. The first temple you will be entering is the Temple of the Jaguar. So when you're going to enter the temple, you get a set of choices for which exploration run you want to go through. So pick one and you will enter the temple with the set of difficulty for that exploration. And here you will need to pick a starting point to decide which path you're going to take and which rooms you will be entering. In the rooms you enter, you will encounter a set of enemies within the corridors of the room, so you will need to use your weapons to bring them down while facing deadly traps to keep you on your toes and use them tactically to beat the enemies within the rooms. And keep an eye out to stay in the light or else the darkness will consume you. This means you take more damage in the darkness. There are multiple different variations of the rooms what serve as a tactical approach to build up your strengths for your runs. For the weapon rooms you encounter here, you will need to fight waves of enemies and beat them will unlock the altar in the room. So now you can pick a weapon from the altar and you will get 3 random weapons to choose from, but you will only able to get one of them, so choose wisely. You can either offer gold to get one of these weapons or offer blood, but this will fill up the corruption meter, what will give you a curse when it is full. For your weapon choices, you will have main weapons. These are mainly one-hand melee weapons. Secondary weapons, these are guns, daggers, and shields. And you will also have two-handed weapons with long swords, big hammers, spears, and bows. Every time you go to a next room, you will get corrupted, and when the meter is full, you will get a curse. This will serve as an extra difficulty spike to make the game harder, but can also be used to your advantage. For example, if the curse you get will let enemies you take down explode, you can be in danger if you stay close to enemies when they die, but this can also benefit you if the explosion hits other enemies to take them down quicker. Although curses can make it harder or easier, the more you have, the harder it will be to keep track of them to make good use of the curses, because then you have to keep thinking about them during fighting, and this will surely make some mistakes. And you can hold up to 5 curses, but with the last curse, it will keep dropping your HP to 1 HP, so you definitely don't want to have the last curse active, because then you're fucked and you will die in 1 hit. Heading to a stats room will let you roam its corridors, and at the end there will be an altar which either has the stat of the Jaguar, what gives you a health bonus, the stat of the Eagle, what gives you a damage bonus, or the stat of the Serpent, what gives you an increased bonus to your gold pickup. Within an altar, you will only be able to get 2 of these stats per altar, but it is always better to get both stats you get from the altars to boost your overall strength during your run. Going to a relic room will let you get a relic to gain passive bonuses, what can boost your overall strength during the run, with 1 main passive bonus and then 1 bonus to your stats, what are definitely worth getting during the run, and you are able to carry 6 relics at a time, so this is quite a lot to turn the tide with the bonuses they give. The game's healing system is kind of limited, so getting hit a lot will be a problem for your runs, but if you come across a haven room, you are able to heal yourself, but this comes at a cost every time you heal yourself. This will add corruption to fill the curse meter, so be careful. During your path, you also want to go through gold rooms. These will let you find more gold, so you are able to offer gold by altars, so you don't have to offer blood, so you won't get corruption to get cursed. What you want to do, because the last curse is not a fun place to be at. If you come across a time room, here you get a challenge where you need to fight a wave of enemies on a timer, and when you beat them, you will get gold accordingly how fast you took them down. This is a great way to get lots of gold for altars. Unknown rooms in your path will give a random room, so if you are low on health, you can pray it to be a haven room, or you can get a stat room to boost your overall strength again. Now surely you are going to die in the game and lose everything you had, therefore the game is a roguelite. And you will be reset to the start again, so you can give it another go or rage quit and come back later to get good. But during your runs, you will find blue skulls. These can be used to get passive bonuses before you start your runs, and also be able to get divine favors to reset items when you are at a weapon altar or a relic altar to get the items you prefer much faster to make a good build for your runs. The exploration runs goes as follows. You can choose between 4 sets of explorations for the Jaguar Temple. For the first one, it is just one section with the first champion, and enemies in this runs are weaker, so the game builds up its difficulty from here to the other exploration sets. The champions are basically boss fights you need to beat at the end of a section to go to the next section. If you do complete the first exploration, you can pick 2 other versions of that exploration, what comes with fixed curses on you, or say challenges to make the run harder. For the second set of explorations, these runs will let you go to the second champion here. You will face 2 sections and 2 champions, and enemies are stronger compared to the first exploration. And after that one, you will be facing the full path of the Jaguar Temple with the final boss at the end. This includes 3 sections with the 2 champions from the first 2 explorations, where enemies have now more increased resistance. And for the last set, it will let you run the whole Jaguar Temple path, where enemies gain extremely increased resistances and traps deal more damage. The game builds up its mechanics with these explorations, so you will need to know how to beat enemies and create builds with the weapons, relics, and stats to get through the run and reach the end of the path for that exploration. The game is pretty hard, and the game doesn't really give a boost from the start to make it easy. The passive bonuses are fine you get at the start, but they don't really make the game easier. You really need to get familiar with the mechanics of the game, which weapons you want to use, and boost your strengths with the relics and stats. You do have divine favors to reset weapons and relics to get better passive bonus combos with the affixes, what comes with them. So this might make the game more easier, but it is all RNG, so luck will be kind of on your side here with the items you're going to get. In the early access version of the game, what is currently live, it will let you explore the full Jaguar explorations, but there is more to come with 3 more temples, where the Serpent Temple, what is coming very soon, and the next Eagle Temple, and as final, the real Dark Cursed Temple of the name I cannot pronounce, but the true Death God. I do enjoy playing the game so far with its sets of mechanics to master, to use the light on the temple to guide your way through it and keep the rooms lit, because you won't take as much damage then. The difficulty spikes of the curses you get what come with a tactical advantage, and the pressure of that last curse will let you move with caution to not get too much corruption during your runs. The combat system will test you to recognize the attack patterns of the enemies and move carefully with your pacing to get hits in of your own, and use the temple traps to take down enemies tactically. Also brings up more variation how you can put down your enemies, with making weapon builds with the affixes from the weapons themselves and the relics to make a good build to complete the different explorations of the temple. And I do say the last explorations of the Jaguar fucked me up real hard, but that is all good when you finally complete them. But guys, that was the preview for Curse of the Dead Gods. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If it did, be sure to leave a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe if you are interested in more related gaming topics like this one. And I guess you can leave a like if you liked it, or a dislike if you didn't. But I thank you guys for watching, and I see you all next time.